To Latvia now, where hidden beneath the country's border fence with Belarus, authorities have discovered a tunnel. They believe it was built to smuggle migrants into the European Union. Latvia, Lithuania and Poland accuse Belarus of deliberately creating a threat at the EU's external border as part of a hybrid attack strategy. DW's Juri Rescheto has this report.
Latvia says Belarus is using migration as a tool of hybrid warfare. This narrow hole in the ground is the end of a secret tunnel. The Latvian border guard says 28 migrants used it to cross illegally from Belarus into Latvia. Authorities found them shortly after in the nearby town of Kraslava in eastern Latvia.
We used our service dog, came here and showed the place, and our border guard checked all this area and found this tunnel.
Most of the men are believed to be from Afghanistan. It's not the first attempt to cross the EU's border underground. Here in the Baltics, authorities believe Belarusian border guards are not just failing to stop this migration, they say it's part of Belarus' hybrid warfare strategy against the West. The border between Latvia and Belarus is 172 kilometers long and is protected by a modern border fence built only a few years ago. Last year, authorities stopped around 12,000 people from crossing illegally. In the first half of this year alone, that number has already reached 10,000. Belarus is a close ally of Russia.
This has been going on since August 2021. Hybrid attacks and the instrumentalization of migration, with migrants being deliberately directed to the border between Latvia and Belarus. At present, it can be said that Latvia has been chosen as the target country.
Just a few days ago, Latvian border guards found another tunnel in Silene, only a few kilometers from here. That tunnel also led from Belarus over there into Latvia on the EU's eastern border. In neighboring Lithuania, border guards recently uncovered 12 illegal tunnels as well. They say 40 irregular migrants were arrested after coming out of the tunnels. The Lithuanian-Belarusian border is even longer, stretching some 700 kilometers. Border guards believe migrants are unlikely to build such tunnels on their own and suspect technical support was involved.
So this tunnel is approximately 30 meters. And it's, we can say that work some engineers here.
But according to authorities, neither Latvia nor Lithuania is the migrants' final destination. Most are trying to reach Western Europe, especially Germany. The goal, Western authorities say, is to destabilize Europe.
Now let's bring in Juri Rescheto. He's the head of our Riga office in Latvia, where DW moved its Moscow bureau after it was shut down by the authorities there. He also filed that earlier report there. Juri, what more can you tell us about the latest developments?
Well, Gerhard, the situation is very fluid, as the border authorities like to put it. What does that mean in practice? You know, if you go to the border, and I've been there several times over the past few months, you hardly see anything happening. You know, it's quiet. The real action happens at night. The fence is equipped with thermal cameras, and those show that every night up to 100 migrants try to cross the border illegally. So some use large ladders that can be placed on both sides of the fence. Others arrive simply with powerful cutting equipment and simply cut through the fence from the Belarusian side. Most of this is captured on camera, so sooner or later the authorities spot it. The newest method, though, is much more sophisticated. The tunnels discovered so far were dug beneath the border barrier and were carefully concealed. Authorities say the exits can be difficult to spot and require either detection equipment or specially trained dogs. Seismic sensors can detect vibrations in the ground and indicate that a tunnel is being dug. That's something the Lithuanian border guards are already using. So it's really a cat-and-mouse game that has been going on for the last 5 years.
Now, these tunnels, do they only point to using immigration as a weapon, or do they also present a military problem?
Well, officials say the tunnels appear to be linked to migrant smuggling, although security experts note that any secret cross-border route naturally raises broader security concerns. I would put it on that way. Potentially, the tunnel could also be used, for example, to smuggle weapons or stage provocations. In the context of what many describe as a hybrid war against Europe, soldiers could theoretically enter NATO territories or Russian soldiers through a tunnel like this, right? The exit hole is quite small, but the tunnel itself is actually spacious and well supported. If such tunnels were used for, let's say, provocations, not with tanks and missiles, but in a way designed to test Europe's and NATO's response, then some difficult questions would arise. What if hostile personnel crossed into NATO territory through a tunnel? Would that be enough to trigger NATO's Article 5 collective defense article? There are a lot of questions and not many clear answers. As for hybrid warfare, illegal migration is already being used as a tool. Poland used to be the main target. Now the focus appears to be shifting towards the Baltic states here.
Now, give me an impression. How big is the problem? How many tunnels are there? And will there be more to come?
So have been discovered so far 2 tunnels here in Latvia and 12 in Lithuania and neighboring Lithuania. I asked the authorities exactly what they are expecting, and I also asked what they plan to do with these tunnels. Simply filling them in is not so easy, they say, because they run underneath the bordered fence, and the fence itself is equipped with a lot of sensitive technology that extends underground. So the authorities have to be very careful. What is clear is that the tunnel will be sealed off, at least on the Latvian or Lithuanian side. And yes, the border guards expect that more tunnels will be discovered in the future. They didn't provide any further details, partly for security reasons, because they don't want to reveal too much publicly. But I also get an impression, Gerhard, that this underground threat is something relatively new to them, and they are still working out the best way to deal with it.
Our correspondent Juri Rescheto there reporting. Thank you, Juri.